Winter Wind, and welcome to the Tube. We got a juicy one for you tonight, and that's what's in our lineup. Taylor Swift drops music from Spotify. Apple Bendgate, the Bendable Truth. Israeli app battles Microsoft Word. A chat with augmented reality app noad founder. The transparent car, indeed, the social watch, and more. Let's do it. Why are we starting with Taylor Swift? There's a really good reason, we promise. The best-selling pop star has removed her entire catalog from the Spotify streaming service after arguing that musicians should not undervalue their art by letting fans listen to their songs for free. Why is this big news? Well, Swift's new album, 1989, is on course to sell more than 1.3 million copies on its first week, breaking the record for the biggest ever album weekly sales by a female artist. Musicians such as Tom York have already turned against Spotify and blamed it for paying artists too little, but Swift, you know, Taylor Swift is Taylor Swift. She's the first A-list megastar to turn against the subscription service. Spotify teased Swift, posting a playlist especially for her, and urged the singer to return. You know, this sheds light on the crisis in digital music sales, where royalties from subscription services fail to compensate for the drop in digital downloads. We'll keep you posted as this story develops, and trust us here at the Tube, it will. Every iPhone launch in recent history has been accompanied by some kind of scandal, and the launch of the new iPhone 6 was no different. Bendgate was the name given by journalists to the reports of people finding out that their new phone bended in their pockets. The company issued a statement saying that only 9 customers have complained of bent iPhones. That number apparently angered some Apple customers out there, and a site called One of the 9 launched last month, and its goal was to collect photos of iPhone owners to show that more than 9 iPhones had been bent during usage. Now, a new video compiles at least 300 iPhones that have bent while being used. Beware, Apple fans, it's not a pretty sight.
Ring, 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 banana phone. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding, banana phone. It grows in bunches, I've got my hunches. It's the best, beats the rest. Cellular, modular, interactive, modular. Ring, 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 banana phone. Ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, ping, banana phone. It's no baloney, it ain't a phony. My cellular, bananular phone. Don't need quarters, don't need dimes to call a friend of mine. Don't need computer or TV to have a real good time. I'll call for pizza, I'll call my cat, I'll call the White House, have a chat.
But yes, 300 iPhone users, did you complain, or did you just shoot the video and put it on the site? We don't know. Now, does Microsoft need to start to worry about one particular Israeli startup? Well, cloudon has unveiled a mobile co-editor tool for iPad, the new word processor that looks a lot like Microsoft Word for iPads. But this new version embraces how people use mobile devices that typically come with touch screens. The obvious question lingers, couldn't Microsoft, a company the market values at, well, $383 billion, squash tiny cloudon? Well, for now, cloudon's new version is selling like hot pancakes, taking the second place in the App Store by storm. We'll try bringing the founders to the studio in the upcoming weeks to talk about this surprising success story. If you are as sick as us from looking at advertisements in public places all day long, we've got someone who might have found the perfect solution for you. Last week we talked about it here. It's called noad. It's a free app for iOS and Android smartphones and tablets. It's, well, very simple to use. You just launch it and, using the device's camera, position it over an ad. On screen, you will now see the physical billboard transform into a digital image, still or animated, of, well, some very exciting artwork. Watch this next video if you need a reminder.
Advertising can be found in nearly every station. From the inside of train cars to the platforms that we wait on, to the turnstiles that we enter through, everywhere in between, advertising turns our daily commute into one giant commercial for the latest products and ideas. So Republic created noad, a free mobile app for Android and iOS that digitally replaces subway platform advertising with art. Simply download noad to your device, launch the app, point it at an advertisement, and watch the ad transform. We'll start with a group of 50 artists, but in an effort to keep up with a constantly changing ad infrastructure, noad will soon begin partnering with independent curators, bringing new and diverse content on a month-to-month basis. We hope noad will serve New Yorkers by creating a new exhibition space on top of unwanted advertising, and in the process, change the way you see your daily commute.
So you can look at the ads and see no ad, but yes art.
So a week has passed and we were wondering, can we get it outside of New York? So to understand more, we'll talk to one of the fathers of noad, BC Heavy Barman. So tell me about yourself. How did you come up with the concept of noad? What made you go into this cheeky project?
noad is really an extension of an earlier project we did in New York in Times Square, where we digitally augmented all the large billboards in that space with street art. So this is a much larger project that takes place in the New York City subway system that has about 5.5 million riders a day.
What is the response you get from people when you tell them about the idea?
Our interest is really in reappropriating public space, and augmented reality technology allows us to do that in very interesting ways that we couldn't have done physically.
Did you get any response from people who work in the ad businesses? Were you afraid of their response?
The response that we get from people for this idea is very positive. People are generally very interested in how the digital is going to blend with the physical, which is something that's coming, that human beings are sort of going to have to figure out as we go along the way, as the digital really becomes an intrinsic part of what it means to be human.
Well, why New York City? When will I be able to use this in Tel Aviv? We seriously need it.
New York City is the location for the first project because Jordan lives there. I'm in Los Angeles, but it has a huge number of riders per day, and also the physical advertisements are actually very consistent in size, which makes it easy for us to curate the digital art at the same resolution.
Is this just an activist art project, or do you have, I don't know, any business plan?
Currently, it's an art project. We're working with the International Center for Photography to curate a Salgado photography exhibition. The business model is to bring on more institutions, museums, and galleries to curate their art in a very democratic way. In other words, we're very interested ideologically in bringing the indoors outdoors.
Is there a next step for noad? Are you thinking about taking this to new platforms such as Google Glass?
The next step for noad is to bring on more institutions to work in more cities like Tel Aviv. Paris and Berlin have been interested. And then also to work with wearables like Google Glass. There's a company in San Francisco called Meta. And we're interested in working with these companies and these products because a wearable is a much more seamless experience. And we've actually always done this with the wearable in mind. A mobile device is still a little bit awkward. And that experience is going to become a much more personal experience. And we're wanting to have sort of one of the first voices in that space, in the sense that it's not all about advertisement. There's other modes of ideas and imagery that's important. So yes, we've always done this with the wearable in mind.
Okay, BC, amazing initiative. Thank you very much for talking with us.
Thank you guys for taking an interest in noad, and you can check out more of our stuff at www.republiclab.com.
Yep, we'll put a link in our Tumblr. Now, yesterday we talked about the Slovakian flying car, which was, well, very cool. And today we also have a car from the future, the transparent car, which is even kind of cooler. The car uses projectors, cameras, and special mirrors to reflect what's outside the car onto the surfaces inside. The resulting images allow you to see what's going on all around the vehicle, even behind you and in blind spots. This is not just cool, it might also also come very handy. Very handy in everything that has to do with parking and safety on the road. While this is far from being a consumer product, here's the video explaining how to make your car go invisible from the inside. It's magic.
The transparent cockpit was devised by researchers at Keio University in Japan. Here, the technology is used in a car, but it could be used anywhere you need a window. It's built of relatively simple components, but the real magic is in the retroreflective screen. Retroreflection allows the system to align the projected image with the eye of the observer. With the right screens in the right place, the car appears to be made of glass. Cameras on the outside of the car capture the obscured visuals. That data is processed, and the images are sent to a projector on the floor behind the driver. The projector sends light up to a half mirror. Part of the beam reflects onto a back seat lined in retroreflective material. When the driver looks in the half mirror, both the ceiling and the back seat images coalesce into one transparent view.
Amaze. Now, we often talk about our favorite new web media empire called Vice as they continue to conquer the world with ambitious eyewitness reports from conflict areas around the world. Now, they are on their way to air a full TV channel. The rapidly growing media empire helmed by CEO Shane Smith has signed a $100 million contract with Canadian cable provider to launch a 24-hour television channel in 2015. Vice's growth into a video powerhouse led many to believe that it was just a matter of time before the company got its own television channel. Previous reports detail talks between Vice and Time Warner. Now that they're a competing channel, yeah, we like them just a little bit less. And to end with some spice, here's the Danish Philharmonic Orchestra playing just after eating super hot chili peppers. It's really hard to watch. It's spicy. Lovely. Okay, we have more time for just maybe another video or two. Let's continue. One of the Tube's crew is a big fan of the cult classic movie The Room, so he insisted that we'll show the opera version of that movie by internet powerhouse in making movies into musicals, the Kaplan brothers. We're doing this under threats.
Lisa and I, we share a life. She is my babe, my future wife. I spoil her, I buy her flowers and also a red dress. So how could she betray me now? My life is such a mess. You are tearing me apart, Lisa. I planned on buying you a house. She's not...
Remember Hombre Mextiz, the super talented animator who made a virtual augmented reality video with nothing but old school style animation? Well, he's back with more of that magic. Bendgate, we here at the Tube love the low-tech magic. And that's it. This show is over. Thank you very much for watching. And we'll be here tomorrow. If you miss us, you can log on to our Twitter and our Tumblr. It's TheTube24. And always remember, continue to share your heart, even if it's broken. Goodbye.